Sorry.
Next.
Number 5, I think.
Well, yeah, we're back. We're excited.
We're back. We're excited with the Sorry Next with Gwen and Krista podcast. We are 65 minutes later than we thought we were going to be today.
We're going to get better.
We're going to get better,
Dylan.
That's the question my sister asks me now. She's like, how late were you guys this time? So I feel like we need to start prefacing our start time from when our ideal start time was. So
yes.
You guys, we're working moms. Like we got a lot to juggle, and we're adding this by choice to our schedules
and not getting paid.
Yeah, no one's paying us or making us do this. We're actually investing our own money and time into this.
Yep.
So we got to find the humor in it, that we're doing the best we can to squeeze it in, but people are listening. People are liking it.
I mean, we've got truck drivers.
I was out on a sales call today for the packaging company that I work with also. And yeah, one of the truck drivers, Justin, I believe his name is, was in there saying, all right, I got a lot of miles to cover. And, radio is one of the greatest things after the cell phone, for us to have in our cars with us, in our trucks. And I'll listen to your whole show, write it down. So I got a little post-it out and I wrote it down. He's like, I'll be listening.
Thank you, Justin.
It's going to be fun. No, I mean, I've had a lot of feedback from people saying they're listening and they're having fun with us and they're excited for us. They're all like, I heard about your podcast. That's exciting.
Yeah, I love it. And so share, follow, subscribe, all the things. We might be doing some fun contesting coming up.
Yes, we're working on that behind the scenes too. We want to get you guys some swag and some goodies and giveaways as a thank you for going on this ride while we figure out what the heck we're going to do with this podcast.
Yes. And we might have on our next podcast a fun guest. So stay tuned. We've already said some stories about this particular guest. We're excited.
But she is expensive. She's fancy.
She bougie.
It's going to cost us. So we're going to see if we can make it work within the budget, because she wants that $1 million contract to make an appearance. She doesn't get out of bed for not a lot. So, so we got to see if we can afford her this week.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, that's a good point, Krista, I didn't even realize that, the marketing part of it, but we need you guys to subscribe. If you're listening or watching on YouTube, you can see us. You can see the show on YouTube, and you have to hit that subscribe button and then the follow button. I feel like my kids' YouTube videos that they watch, like and subscribe.
Yes. But then you'll get alerts when we drop new episodes.
And you don't have to rely on just our Instagram and Facebook teaser videos.
Yes.
You can see.
Which are getting better.
We're having fun with it. We're trying. We'll see what happens. Thank you, Dylan, for all the behind the scenes work on those as well.
Yes. Yes, because I would know how to do that.
I know. So last week when we were recording, I had gotten a phone call right before we started saying that I had a sort of a family emergency. So as soon as we took off our headphones, I raced like an hour and a half out of town to the hospital into the evening and stayed checking on a grandparent that we have now found out she ended up having a stroke, and she's okay, but scary. And when the immediate family's not in town, that is a hard thing, to not be there.
Yeah. And you're always such a kind soul. Like, for you to go and be there with her say again, let's hear the story of why they aren't in town. They weren't in town, the immediate family, and actually why you were in town.
Oh yeah. It's a story that carries some weight and emotions are high, about it. But so yeah, it's a step grandmother to my husband, and her children, like Kent's stepdad, was celebrating his 60th birthday and had a trip to Jamaica and wanted the family to come, like all the adult kids. Because when his mom had turned 60, we all went on a resort destination trip. And so they wanted to do the same thing for him. So everyone packed up and went to this resort.
Fun, right?
I am newly back in the phrase of the family dynamic, and that apparently does not include family trips yet. So everyone has their timeline, and I clearly was the fall guy in his version of events. I don't know. I haven't really unpacked all that in therapy yet. But, I'm a team with my husband, and we are choosing to move forward with our new priorities to be together. And now, you know what I want to look at it as? Again, this is a lot of therapy, which I'm thankful now to have in my back pocket, where I said, thank God I was here. Thank God family was home so that someone could be with her, because do unto others. If I had fallen and had a stroke in a nursing home, do I want to sit in the ER confused by myself? Of course not.
Right.
So thank God I wasn't invited on that trip, and I could drop everything and go be there. Like, I genuinely feel thankful that I could go be there. Would I have loved to be on a warm beach Absolutely. Do I love these people in this family? I do.
Yeah.
Do we all apparently have to overcome some things from my almost divorce that never was? Apparently.
I mean, now you're going to make me feel bad for what I was going to say.
Well, say it.
Like, I just think that was complete BS. No.
To have a family trip and not include me?
Yes. Like, they are lucky. I'm sorry. They're lucky that you are giving this a chance. And they should be so happy to welcome you with open arms. So to me, I call BS on that.
Thank you. I mean,
I
that's
really
how
do.
I want to feel that way, or that's from my perspective of events. And I only can, I lived in my reality of what happened. And, they had him to support and his reality of what happened.
Yeah.
And, a mama and her son, you have a son.
Yep.
I just got to assume she's protecting her heart and what she went through, or they went through. I shouldn't just say her, but there's two sides apparently to every story, but I'm an angel.
Of course.
Always.
Yes. He was totally at fault, and I will stand by that.
Thank you. I know, but so it's hard. But then another thing happened the next day. So if that was Thursday night, the day everyone leaves for the trip, there's an emergency in the hospital. I'm next of kin. By the way, they didn't even call my husband. They only called me, which I think is the best part too.
And then you drive, it's not like it was right in Charlotte. You drove all the way to like Hickory.
Yeah, it was an hour and a half from your house and then an hour for me to get home after 9:00 at night. Yeah, so it was, but again, do unto others. Like, would I have wanted to be alone in that room? Of course not. So I went and I will do it again every time.
Yeah.
That I don't have a problem with at all.
I love you.
Yeah, that's fine. But then the next day, my house flooded. My basement flooded the next day. So I'm like, well, Jamaica, you are a joke, buddy, because if I had been there and all these things had gone wrong, like it was a sign that I'm not supposed to have been on that trip. I was not supposed to be there. That plane even waited on the tarmac for like 3 hours, apparently.
What? I know. They had to sit?
They had to sit.
Oh.
They had to sit and miss that first day, getting there early enough for guacamole on the beach, which is my go-to is when I get somewhere, I want to get there early enough to quickly change in my, either like in the hotel bathroom because my room's not ready, or like carry it with me in my bag. And I want to put my toes in the sand and get guacamole poolside or oceanside as quick as humanly possible.
Yes. I'd like to know, like, how does that work when it comes to that extended family? Like, who else has experiences like that where you're being welcomed back? Or, even just experiences with that extended ex-family, right? Because if you have kids together, then you still see each other. And
yeah, I'm not as familiar with divorce. Like no one really on my side of the family is divorced. And so it was super hard for me to kind of navigate this. And then I married into a divorced family. So I had to learn this Thanksgiving, we're seeing your mom, but the next Thanksgiving, we see your dad.
Right.
But then my family's just going to filter in too, because if we do mine on the third Thanksgiving, then the first parent gets screwed. Oh my gosh, this is hard.
Yeah.
Right. It just becomes very difficult. And then they didn't want to be around each other. And, we couldn't stand each other when we were going through our separation. So and then my family, I will say, because that's what I can speak for, have said, we are Team Guenn and we love you no matter what. And if you are able to overcome and work out what happened in your relationship, then we support you. If you're okay sharing a home and a life with this person, then by God, who are we to put our nose up at it? It's your life.
Right.
What makes you happy? You do you. So they've been very supportive. Of course, there's questions. Yeah. And of course, they've had an opportunity to see us firsthand together and ask a few questions too. Like, are you okay? To him, do you realize what really happened here? Like what, are we getting to the bottom of this? And yes, it's been very supportive and very open. And I've gotten some nice texts from his side too, saying, we love you. So glad the nightmare's over, basically.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Crazy nightmare.
But, like my ex-husband and I, when it comes to not stressing out the kids, right? Like, because he came from parents that couldn't be in the same room, super stressful when we got married. And I mean, way more to come on that right now, because that's not the situation.
It's a currently never-ending saga.
Never ending. And by the way, I'm just going to make this quick note. Don't put stuff on social media where the kids can see. And like, just
I'm sure
don't.
not. I mean, I'm the only one in my relationship on social media, but I never publicly addressed what I was going through. I mean, sometimes I would allude to it with like a video of like, I got new portraits done of me and the kids. You can come to your own conclusion that there's no dad in the picture anymore, but I never, and I changed like my bio to say, these are my jobs, mom of 3, Panther fan. Like it doesn't say wife anymore, but I never once addressed publicly. If you knew me, you knew, because you were drying my tears all the time. But if you didn't know me, I think only socially, you never heard me mention it once.
No, I just think there are people to talk to about that if you want to vent or whatever. But don't put it on social media when you're friends with kids, students, and they see that. It's just not fair. And what do you need by posting that on there? Like,
I guess you want to try to get the world on your side.
Yeah, it's just sad. But anyway, that's my rule.
I know you currently...
More to come on that.
You're always battling it, which breaks my heart because I was thinking, as soon as we settle all the money, right? That's why he's being so frustrating because he's so mad about the money. He doesn't understand how this works, right? That there's laws. It's a math equation. I'm not out to get anybody. You left. So this is what happens. Like, this is how you settle it up.
Yeah.
I'm not, this happened to me. I didn't instigate any of this in my mind.
I didn't want any of this. Right.
And then there's obviously, but I think, okay, as soon as we settle and then we'll be able to amicably co-parent. And then I thought we were getting to that point and where we're like, okay, this is good. You take them, I'll take them. And then he's like, I love you. I want you back. And I'm like, what?
I think we're all like, huh?
I said, yeah. He asked me if he could meet up with me one day. He's like, I really need to talk to you. And I'm like, I mean, maybe tomorrow. I'm not in town. I'm on a fabulous trip with my fancy friend. I didn't say that, but I'm like, I just can't. I'm busy. It's not my day with the kids, my week. You're finally week on, week off with me. So I'm good. You told me to stop harassing you when you have your time with the kids. And then he's like, no, really, I can't stop thinking about you. I have to, or he didn't say that, but he's like, no, really, I really need to get in front of you and talk to you. Can you meet? Can you meet? Can you meet? So it was like some night I was doing a Christmas party with friends beginning of December. It might've been the Sunday afternoon. So I'm like, fine, I can meet you on Sunday at 5 before I go to this cocktail Christmas party, gift exchange, favorite things. And I was like, someone asked me, they're like, what do you think he wants to talk about? Because you guys have already submitted your divorce paperwork. Like everything's officially signed off on, right? I said, yeah, we're completely done.
Like it's filed.
It's filed. He filed it. He signed it. I sadly signed it. I mean, I was ready by that point. And then I said, he's either going to say he's in love with his current girlfriend. He's firing me because we'd arranged for me to still work within. I also work for his company, which is our company, family business. I said, so he's either in love with his girlfriend and wants me to know how serious it's about to get because she's his person now. And some of the messages I'd gotten, he's firing me, that he just doesn't want to keep this relationship, which is going to do a doozy on our paperwork because I relinquished some things here in lieu of things within the company. I said, or C, he's in love with me. I don't know. I can never tell, right? I never know what I'm walking into over the last 15 months. And throughout our conversation, I told him that. And he's like, well, see, honey, you were right. You always are. It's the third one. I'm in love with you. So I'm going to need a minute to sit on this one because I don't know if the wind's going to blow you back in the other direction tomorrow. So we'll see.
He's still on trial.
Right. I mean, no, he's doing great. And we're still in couples counseling and therapy, which I highly recommend for all people. And I said, this is something I need to work on. I need to get in a better mental space of we are a team and we are the team and we're the only team and this is our only option. Right? I need to verbally sound supportive of us. I need to emotionally be supportive of us. And I need to be, this is it, right? End all be all, we're one. And I said, I have to apologize to you if I ever don't seem like that, because sometimes it can be a defense mechanism for me. Right. It can be a comedy mechanism to make little jabs like, oh, whoever my plus one is by that date. And that's not helpful. Right. That's not constructive. That doesn't show the person that you love them. So I need to be like softer in that and really be team player and supportive of, because I only want my marriage to work out. That's the only goal. So I need to sound supportive of that.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that makes sense.
It doesn't hurt. It doesn't change a lot of the hurt. And I think, for the families, it's going to take everybody their own time. And we've agreed we're not worried about anyone else but us and our relationship and what happens between us.
Yeah.
So we're really just trying to keep everything out.
Yeah. Which is good.
And he's much more private than I am. I mean, clearly he doesn't have social media. I do. I have a podcast.
Hasn't even listened to the podcast.
I don't know. He said one day, he's like, I'm going to listen on the treadmill. And then I'm clearly not following up. So I don't know. But I mean, my whole career when we were dating was on the radio. He asked me out on the radio. So I mean, he's used to all of this.
Yeah. So he's like, anyway.
He's like, whatever she says. I don't know.
Well, yeah. Okay. Sorry. Next. Okay. We kind of got on a tangent, but I've been wanting to tell you this story and I'm so excited.
Okay.
So on with our next topic. So you know how we talked about MGM and you told the story 2 podcasts ago, I think.
Yeah. About a girl in a bar getting a guy's number and then she ends up going to Vegas with him on the fly. And being nasty. We tried to unfollow her because I'm like, you just got solicited to be a her. And you took the guy up on it like that you hadn't talked to in 10 to 15 years.
Right.
And then you just went on, basically, you used him for a $5,000 trip to Vegas.
Yeah.
Or he hired you for a $5,000 trip to Vegas. I'm not going to be the judge. I don't know.
Real sure.
Someone upstairs will answer to that one someday.
Yeah.
We'll see. But it's not up to me to just say. But anyway.
Yeah, right. So
tangent.
yes.
Sorry, next.
Quick elevator pitch of what we were talking about, right? So, and I had also mentioned that I have seen her at the bar near my house, right? And she comes up to the suit sometimes and asks him if he's happy in his marriage, whatever. It's like, this chick, something is off, right?
I think she's a con artist.
A con artist, gold digger, right? So
crazy.
One of the suit's friends.
Crazy good looking, but.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, she's beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, she has game. Like she's got like deep game. But so one of the suit's friends was talking to him about this girl that was wanting to go out with him. And he's like, man, I just think she's just kind of a gold digger. Like, and so DJ goes, where'd you meet her? And he said, the bar by our house. Right. And
okay.
DJ goes, oh, okay. Send me her picture. And it's MGM.
And is he married, the friend?
No, he's single,
thank God.
Very wealthy.
That's right up our alley.
Yep.
She's got a lot of legal bills because remember, that's how we met her. We were discussing lawyers and she had the same lawyer. And I have since Googled her name and she, has more legal charges pending with not paying lawyers or I don't want to get into her business too much, but it's not good.
It's like bounce checks and stuff
like that. Yeah. Which I think could be easily explained. Like she was divorcing her husband, which she told me, she goes, I cheated. I wasn't in love anymore. He closed accounts. So, I mean, in her mind, she still had the checkbook to their joint account, wrote a check. I don't know. I don't know how innocent she is. I don't want to speak on that.
Right.
I'm not going to be the jury. Like I said, someone else is in due time, but it's shady as suck.
Yes. So I was told this story and I'm like, oh, haha, obviously you filled him in. Right. And then earlier, he, because we were talking and I was like, what did they go out? Is he? And so he showed me the text that they were sending back and forth and they were planning on going to whatever restaurant. And she's like, oh yeah, we got to get that tomahawk steak. And he goes, she's such a gold digger. Of course she wants the most expensive item
on the menu. Good for her.
And I'm like, did you? And he was going to go out with her. And I'm like, did you tell him the whole story?
Everything we know?
Like, does he know?
I mean, I'm almost impressed. I am like the fact that she can work it like that. But then I'm also just like insulted for females across the board because I literally watched her text a man and say, haven't seen you basically in 15 years. I'm going to summarize. Haven't seen you in 15 years. Hope you're great. And here's a cute picture of me. And then he jumped at it. He jumped at the chance and solicited her. And she jumped right back and took it.
Yeah.
So I just am disappointed in women that would say yes to a quick offer from a man like that. A weak man in a weak moment or a sleazy guy every day of the week. Who knows, what this guy, who this guy was. But I'm just like, it disappoints me in women. Like, hold yourself to a higher standard.
Right.
You deserve more than the tomahawk, honey. You deserve the whole world, not just on a quick whim that you can swindle one guy at the bar after the next.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Oh, MGM.
Oh.
We're going to keep hearing about her, I'm sure.
I mean, I was like dying to tell you this.
And remember, the recap is we live like 45 minutes apart and I met her up my way.
Right.
Like 10 minutes from my house. And then now she is constantly your way. So maybe she went through the pool of men in my area and she's got to find a new.
Well, then there was this back and forth text that I was reading. And I think they set up the date. So he was going out with her.
Time out. I love that guys are screen grabbing their conversations with people and sending them to other guy friends. I thought only women did that.
No, apparently not. No.
I send you every conversation I had with my ex during the ex. Yeah. I was like, look at this ish he just said.
Yeah. Can you believe that?
You use the purple devil horns again. He's not supposed to use the devil horns when he talks about me.
I know. He's not devil woman.
God, that was my nickname for a minute. And I'm like,
not nice.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm like looking behind me like, what?
Me? I'm the angel. And I'm never wrong.
This is the truth.
yeah, so I'm reading these, screen grabs, which is funny. And so I'm like reading through and I'm like, oh, so he is going out with her. And then I see where he says something about he ran into somebody at the gym and she asked him to hang out. And so he said, hey, I'm not comfortable, going on a date after I'm just hanging out with this other girl. And so she's like, oh, that's a bad decision. And he said, so is a tomahawk steak.
That's funny. All right. So at least he was like, I don't want a 2-time either of you.
Well, he's like,
He had standards.
Yeah, he's like, I just went to Starbucks and I don't feel right about doing the date tonight. And she's like, that would be a huge mistake. And he goes, well, so was the tomahawk steak.
Listen to her game now. She's like, I don't care if you're dating other women. Still go out with me.
Yeah.
Ladies, respect yourself more.
Yeah, I know. So, yeah, sorry. Next. Yeah, that
MGM saga continues.
It continues.
Okay.
We'll see. There'll be probably more to come.
I know. So always more to come with that one.
Yeah. So I have a funny story about Colson's Jeep.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was at my sister's.
Which is your son. That's your son in his car.
My son, he's 17. My dad bought him a Jeep Wrangler. Awesome. Amazing. Like such a good
I love
papa.
grandparents.
And they just, they're just so giving. And so Colson's been driving this, and I saw oil leaking on Sunday. And so I was like, And
in your driveway? Like, did your husband see it first and be like, whose car's leaking oil in the driveway? Someone's messing up my...
We were at Feral Cats. And
your sister's house, if you're listening to the podcast.
Yes. And so...
like and subscribe so you'll know.
Yeah. So Colson was going to come home to work on homework. We were leaving our house. We had been there Saturday and stayed the night with my nieces and nephew. And actually, my mom and sister and I went to dinner, and the kids and Colson and her husband and my dad went to a movie. So I was like, we haven't done like a mom sister dinner. Let's do that.
Nice.
It was wonderful. And so, but the next morning, I was like, why are you leaking oil? And the check engine light was on.
Uh-oh.
I hate dealing with anything with cars.
Sure.
I just hate it.
Well, I just think we are automatically going to be considered ignorant, which most of the time is true. And then I assume I'm going to be swindled and cheated. So then I go in there aggressive, like I know, when I in fact don't know. So it's tough on both ends, because I'm never going to believe what you're selling me, because I think you're out to get me.
Right.
Find someone trustworthy.
Yes.
I have found an auto dealer that I love working with. So if you need a good one, let me know. I can send it to you.
Yep.
But until they're paying me on here, I'm not going to say it.
Right. I'm not gonna say
just kidding.
So
kind of.
I was like, Colson just drives straight home, and then, which I shouldn't have done. I should have had him we should have checked the oil first since it was leaking. But I don't know. I don't know that much about cars. Sure. I just drive them. I mean, I put unleaded gas in my Tahoe, and DJ, and I go, it's clunking. And DJ's like, you need to put premium.
Oh, really? I put regular unleaded in mine.
Does it sometimes? Does it knock?
I don't think so.
Are you sure?
What does knocking mean?
We could get into your automotive history with branding yourself.
I thought you were going to say you accidentally put diesel in it or something.
Oh, no. I mean, no, I'm not that bad.
I almost ran out of gas today, which has happened to me quite a lot.
Yeah.
Even on the 277 loop, we did run out of gas once. I'll have to send this clip to my friend Karen. We ran out of gas on that wicked crazy part of 277.
Oh.
I heard Charlotte bloggers are making a video game about it, because that stretch, the loop, is so bad right there. I think that's where Cam Newton flipped his truck too. But yeah, we ran out of gas right there, and all these cars are whizzing by, and we're right between an exit and
where it goes to Independence, right there.
No, kind of, but going the other way.
Okay, yeah.
Oof.
3rd and 4th Street, right?
Yes,
there. It's worse.
Scary.
Yeah. Well, so anyway, I look at Colson's oil. He has no oil. It's not even on the stick.
Oh.
And I'm like, I know how to handle that. You clean it off, you stick it in, right? And then you
go to the what? Yeah.
And he has no coolant in his car. And I'm like, you have no coolant? And he goes, oh yeah, my friend's dad put a gallon of water in because it was smoking. And I was like,
what?
When was the car smoking, buddy? And he goes, I don't know, a month ago. And I'm like, why did you not tell me? And he goes, I don't know, I thought they fixed it.
Oh, no. Water is not ever a good option in a car.
So I'm like, so they did that and you didn't tell me. And then the check engine light comes on.
And have you ever had an oil change in it? How long have you had the car?
2 months ago.
Okay.
Oh, no. Yeah, I've been on him about you need oil changes.
That's something kids don't know to be aware of. Right. But if this is his first car.
Right.
Your registration, your license, all the things that adulting is what we call it.
Right.
Yeah.
He doesn't know, and I don't know. And I'm,
sure.
Trying.
And your ex doesn't care. You getting him a car was all on you.
Which I
care.
find. He doesn't Yeah.
Unbelievable. Like, you both had the kid. Why aren't you both
Like, yeah.
doing
He did. Yeah.
That's for another day. Sorry, next.
Would have been good if he called to thank my dad, but whatever. But yeah, so anyway, I'm like, buddy, oh man. And my dad's like, you should be checking this every other time you get gas. And I'm like, well, how am I supposed to know
we
that?
should be checking our oil every...
Not us, because we have new cars, but his is a 2012. So he said, because you have an older car, you really need like twice a month, check it. Just check it. Because it can,
Well, let's be honest. I hope to never have a car that's not new.
I hate, But anyway, I thought it was so funny.
If I can continue to be a brat in life, that's one of the things I'd like to hold on to.
I thought it was so funny that he was just like, oh, and my friend's dad put water and it was good.
One day it was smoking, the next day it's fine.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, buddy, lesson learned. So anyway, I bring it over, I'm trying to talk to my dad and he goes, well, what? And he's telling me these things and I'm like, Dad, I don't know. And I'm just kind of like, can you just handle it?
Right,
but
just handle it.
He's like, I buy you the car. You guys should be able to maintain it. Like,
true.
So I bring it over here to this place by our house, drop it off early in the morning. And they call me and they're like, yeah, so there's a leak in the oil and the housing unit, blah, blah, blah. And that's $1,100. And also you need a battery and also you need spark plugs and $4,000. I'm like,
but it is a 2012.
It is, right. But my dad had everything done when he bought the car. Like
18 months ago, or how long ago?
Yeah, October of 2023.
Okay.
But so anyway, I call my dad. I'm like, I'll have to call you back. I need to call my father on this. And I was like, Dad, what
did you just do all of this? Is this legit?
He goes, they are totally screwing you. These places, you need to take it to someone you trust. And so anyway, we're getting it fixed. Colson's been driving my car for 3 days. So he's just rolling in the Tahoe.
He's never given that thing up. You have a gorgeous Tahoe.
I know.
Chevy's the way to go, we'll say. So wait, but what happened? Like, you took it to another place and got another estimate?
So we have a friend out in Indian Trail and he took it and he goes, yeah, you don't need all that. That's ridiculous. And my dad was like, Krista, I can change the battery. I can change the brake pads. $4,000 is ridiculous. I know.
Your dad even painted my cabinets in one of my houses. Like, I bought a house that had dark cabinets. I'm like, my last kitchen had dark cabinets. I want white cabinets in this kitchen. And hired your dad and he did awesome.
He's so great.
And so good.
Yeah, I just thought the whole story was funny about Colson kind of being like, what? I had somebody pour water in it. It's good. And I'm like, but yeah, he's like, well, I'll change out your battery and the spark plugs and Colson can just bring it to my house and take my Jeep. He's got a nice like 2023, and I'm like, Colson would love that. I don't know if he'll want to give that Jeep back.
Yeah, don't. Yeah. My kids already talk about they want our cars. And I'm like, maybe by then it'll be old enough. That would be a good car for you. But right now it's too nice. But no, I called my dad from a payphone when I was about Colson's age, when I fishtailed, like going from 485 onto Ray Road. Yes. Like I was making that left and like Stonecrest would be down on your right. And I'm making the left and it was icy and I'm in my hand-me-down car of my sister's that is now mine. And I like fishtailed and did a 180 over the median and ended up facing Stonecrest. Oh my God. So I like drive to the Piper Station Drive gas station right by the Applebee's that I used to hostess at. So I'm very familiar with that area. And I go up to like the payphone and put change in. It's a freezing cold morning, obviously icy roads. I'm like, my dad answers like, yellow. I'm like, Dad, hey babe, how the heck are you? I'm like, Dad, I just spun around in the car. Oh my God, like ice. And he's like, well, did you hit anybody? I'm like, no. He's like, well, is the car okay? I'm like, yeah. Oh my God. He's like, all right, well, you better hurry. You're going to be late to school if that's where you're still at. Love you. Bye. And I'm like, okay, bye. All right. I just drove to school.
I was just like a little in shock.
I'm like, all right, I guess we just keep on trucking. We didn't even have cell phones, kids.
I know. I'm like,
I didn't get one until my senior year. Because I'm like, this car's going to break down. Do you want me on 485 alone at night? And that's how I convinced them. I like suckered them into thinking I'm a poor damsel in distress.
I need help me. I'm poor. I know. It's funny because like when we were kids, right? I was like 16 outside the liquor store asking someone to buy me a bottle of Bacardi 151.
Oh, I knew which gas stations to go to. I had my sister's ID.
I can't. And then now, we've got like 360. So we know where our kids are. We know what they're doing, where they should be, where they shouldn't be.
I know.
And it's
away with anything.
Nothing.
Or it's just the content is different now. Like I got an email from the principal of 6th grade saying there's a slap boxing competition going on in the 6th grade boys' bathroom that they think my son is leading.
Oh.
I'm like, what the hell is slap boxing?
And
I had to, it's like open-faced hitting.
Yes.
Not good. I'm like, wait, is it the funny one where like they have a mouthful of water and they have a tortilla? They're like, no, it's not good.
I know. Dylan, didn't Connor do something like that? Yes. And Connor, so my middle son has these big hands, huge hands. And I think he knocked somebody out, but they were doing that in the bathroom. They were doing the slap thing.
See, and the other one I just found out about that all the rage with the 6th graders is calling people a bop, which is like modern day for like a slut or a her. And they're like, oh, if you date around, you're a bop. And I'm like, you're in 6th grade though. Like to my knowledge, they're not kissing. They're not going into bathrooms. Like it's not spin the bottle parties. Like these kids aren't even having parties at night together.
Right.
Like it is solely
it's in
just
the school bathroom.
I think I like you. And then they're calling each other that. So I'm like, stop it. Don't be mean girls or mean boys. Like it's the boys ganging up on all the girls all the time.
Really?
And I'm like, I think that means they like you. When they're mean, they like you. Yep. It's that thing. But I'm the one with the son. So I'm like, do you like her? Is that why you're so mean to her?
Stop it.
Stop it.
Yeah, knock it off.
All right. Sorry, next. Boys grow up. The lesson never dies.
I don't think they grow up till they're 55 or 60.
We've yet to see it.
Yes.
Right. How old's the suit?
I mean, he's going to be 53. I'm starting to see it.
Okay. I think my 42-year-old, because of this whole life shakeup,
yeah,
he was brought to his knees and he's like, I'm grown up now.
Yeah.
He was at Bible study at 7 a.m. this morning. Okay. So that's something.
Good. That's awesome. Good.
I know.
Yeah, I think the suit, he's I think it was 52 3/4. And he's just calmer now.
And he's lived many lives. So it's kind of gets to the point you're like, I've already done all that.
Yeah.
Right. I can relax. I've already done it.
I don't need to get upset about this.
Yes.
It's fine. Yeah. Yeah.
And he's got you.
I mean, yeah. What do you have to be mad about?
Right. Hello.
I mean, hello.
Right
here.
All right. Sorry next.
All right. Sorry next. Well, I mean, should we just wrap it up and be ready for our guest coming on next
Lock
time?
In our next guest.
What? Like we gotta.
I say we do it.
I'm really excited about this.
I'm gonna have some more wine while you lock in our next guest.
I'm gonna lock her in. Yeah, so
she's funny. I mean, I think it's almost when we're hanging out, it's like we've had an edible, but we haven't. Or have we?
Or a drink.
Or a drink. I mean, we've always had a drink.
Yeah.
She's got great stories. I've known her longer than I've known you. And then you had your own independent relationship with her from me. And it's Three Stooges. If she didn't have to move away.
I know. We've got some funny things about the farewell lunch and some really great stuff to talk about.
Yep.
I'm excited.
Well, thanks, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share with your friends. Tell people you're listening to our podcast and help us.
And give us more feedback. We love it. Yeah. All right. See you next time.